Good evening and welcome to round 3 of AF1. We're live at Watkins Glen. The last 2 rounds have been dominated on these road courses by Jacques Olivier, but today we have ourselves a little treat. A one-off appearance by the one and only Lowy, ready to challenge the guys at the front. Let's take a look at the end of the practice times, because it's just finishing off, and we'll see a slight difference at the top of the field in the form of Felinix. Felinix, Joao Vicente Guerra, then Jacques Olivier, then De Nooijer. Lowy, P7 in practice. We have 23 drivers ready to go to take on the Watkins Glen course. I'm just waiting a few seconds for qualifying to get underway. 20-minute qualifying to get us started, followed by a 34-lap race. As I say, Jacques Olivier won the first 2 races of the season, so he has the top honours at the top of the table. I forget who's second, so I'm going to get the results up. I'm loving that we have a nice big grid for today. We got a slightly amended format for the formation lap. After the shenanigans that we had in the start crash that we had at Watkins Glen, that we also at Laguna Seca, that's been amended here. So the safety car will come out of the final corner slower. Everyone will have a chance to bunch up. Everyone will be on the front straight, and then the safety car will come in at a random time, so no advantage can be gained. And look at the carambolage that we get as we come towards the start of qualifying. The pit exit. Look at all of that. More than half the field heading towards the pit exit at the start of this qualifying session. As I said, 20 minutes ahead of us. Jacques Olivier has the lead with 53 points in the championship. Felinix is second with 40. It's been the same top 2 for the first 2 rounds this season. Ludwig Eriksson, currently P3 with 28 points. Then Joao Guerra on 26. Matthew Lebeck on 19. Jake Feemster on 17. Matthew Soriano 16. Diego Domingo and Mario Fonseca both on 12. Oh, and so forth. So too is Alex Baltashu. So that's your top 10. It seems like this grid's going to be a little bit more mixed than we've seen for the first 2 rounds. It's a track that many drivers may already know, because we have used it before. So we're running a ball with with Rossiu, who's Adam Roszek. You may have seen him. You saw him yesterday in the AF4 race. Well, he's going to have the first crack at setting a hot lap in this qualifying session. Track grip is low at about 97%. And fairly low track temperature as well. 27 air, 33 track. No wind as always. Going through the final 2 corners, we'll take you around this first lap at Watkins Glen. I'm going to mix those up all day. Out of the final corner, try and take as much exit on as possible without touching those with that wall on the exit, because that will lift you up apparently, according to some drivers. Brake at about the 100 mark for the 90. Turn 1. Use a bit of curb on the inside and a little bit of curb on the outside. You can use as much as you want on that, but don't go all 4 wheels beyond that curb. It'll get deleted. Through turns 2, 3 and 4, which are basically nothing in this car, completely flat. Behind that, I noticed that is Ludwig Eriksson catching, and might be a bit too close for this lap. The next one will be the inner loop. A quick sequence of right, left, right corners that there's no real right way of taking, but it leads you straight into the outer loop. Use the curb on the exit, and you're diving downhill about 200 metres, or 200 yards, or 200 somethings. And we head towards the boot. Uphill braking zone into sort of a banked corner. You can really carry a lot of speed through here if you get the line right, which Roszek kind of has. But it's a little bit slow, because you can see Ludwig Eriksson all over the mirrors. This is going to ruin the first lap for Ludwig, but he's got 20 minutes to fix that. 4 corners left. There's one of them. Probably one of the slowest on the track. Then we have 3 to go now. Use a bit of exit there. Not too bad. This is almost flat through here. Okay, it is flat through there. Fair enough. You can use a bit of exit curb again, and swing it through the final corner. Again, don't touch that wall on the exit. To the line for Adam Roszek. It is a 130.274, and still an improvement from that was Daniel Wolf behind with the 29.4, and Ericsson goes to 28.6. We're looking at 26s, I think it was, towards the end of this session. Andrea de Neuer does a 28.6 and goes to P1. Let's go for the helicam for the... now let's go for TV2. TV2 looks good to me. It's good to It's only 1,000 off by Mythic in the River Racing car, so it's a very similar times considering they're right behind each other on track. I've had 6 pings from Jens. Sorry about that, just getting some clarifications about the safety car. Andrea de Neuer's gone off, actually. I've noticed this in open practice. He's had a few issues. He's gone... We thought was going for the NASCAR route, the short layout. He's got time to rejoin. But in the third sector, de Neuer's having some trouble, particularly like through the slow corners, the fourth and third to last corners. I need to get the numbers right. 1, 2, 3. 12 and 13. There's 15 corners on this track, I'm counting. And hot tyres seem to be a bit of a crux, a bit of an issue with this track. Lowy and Guerra within a tenth of each other, just at the top of the times. 6 tenths back is Ludwig Eriksson in third place in the Macca racing car. Eriksson and Jack Olivier, the two Macca racing cars, easily top of the team's standings at the minute, and they've basically taken a controlling stake in AF2 this season. They had 3 teams planned for AF2 and another 2 planned in the GT class. Hello everybody. Thank you Nico for following. Am I being timed out for 5 minutes? You can't time me out. I am inevitable. I'm looking at the chat. It's just maybe not updating as quickly as I'd like, as it should. I'll try and refresh the chat. Hold on. You know, it's there. It's showing up. It's showing up. I'm seeing things. Not timed out. Okay. I'll be quiet for 5 minutes. Okay. If that's what you want, I'll be quiet for 5 minutes.
Josh can be quiet, but I don't need to be.
I'm back. Dicks. Time out for 5 minutes, why don't you? I'm not going to listen to that and do it again in the race, but anyway, yes, he's still Lowy on top by 3.5 tenths. Purple, while I was muted, he purpled 2 sectors and took to the top of the times. Same, Jake Farmster also popping himself up there in P2.
Chat, Josh.
I'm not. I said I'm not listening to it again. I'm not muting myself a second time, otherwise the stream's going to be shit. I'm not doing it.
Ah,
I've done it once. You got your fan service. Now fuck off. Thank you for subscribing, Mario Fonseca. Also, unrelated Fonseca, get on track. You're in qualifying right now. You're P18. Your pace is better than that. Go for it.
Also, Juan muted you on Discord, but it's just Discord, so it didn't change anything.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Felini's to the top of the times. And Geka really close behind. This just got into a really tasty qualifying session. 3.5 hundredths of a second separate the top 3 drivers. What? Mario, as in Mario Fonseca. I thought the F was Fonseca. You have no idea how long I have thought that was Mario Fonseca. Hello, Cano. Good to see you. Thank you for subscribing. Don't make me ping Arda and get him to remove the timeout thing. We don't want it overused. 7.5 minutes left in qualifying. No one on any good laps at the minute. Fonseca is on a good one, to be fair, but he's on a personal best lap. It's looking apparently purple, but I don't think that's true. That's not true according to my own live timing. He's looking, to be fair, not too bad. It's looking like it could be midfield. Sort of top 10 potential. There's a huge gap between 9th and 10th to slot into, and between 11th and 12th. And he does so. There we go. P12 for Mario Fonseca with 129.460. But he was slower in that final sector compared to his personal best. Denoyer just letting everyone go past. He's all in there. Mixtroll just disappearing from the scene. We've also seen Trader Joe, Lukey Smooky, and Mixtroll all disappear from the server in this qualifying session so far. So hopefully I can get back in, because I'd love to see a full grid of 24 cars. Who's going to strike next? Because Lowy P3 is a weird sight. Jake Feemster looking really good today. Best of the rest seemingly at the minute. In fact, better than Jack Olivier, which is quite an achievement given the state of this season. He's done a personal best in the first 2 sectors so far. Let's see how he does. He has to deal with a spinning. That's a spinning. I forget who's driving the purple cars. Squeaky wheels? No. That's not Squeaky Wheels, it's High Performance Automotive, isn't it? I don't know who it is. Carolina Racing. Carolina Racing, of course it is. Jake Feemster goes top of the times. He's on pole by 1/10.5. Where's Jake Feemster from? I know he's from America, but is he like close to Watkins, Glen? I imagine this is like local knowledge for him. That's the only way I could possibly explain this. But what a lap from Jake Feemster to go the first guy into the 26s in this session. The track grip is still at 98%, so we should be expecting a low grip quali. Can we stop abusing the mod functions, please? Lowy has purpled the second sector, but he was slower on his first sector compared to his personal best. He's got 2 corners to go. He's looking blindingly fast through these last 2 corners. Oh, that's about as close as you get. A couple of sparks flying, so it's about as on he's on the limit there. Does improve. It's identical. Matching times at the top of the table. Lowy first, Feemster second. Oh my god, here we go. 5 minutes to go. Who's taking that pole? Both laps invalidated in the right at the minute for the top 2. We've got ourselves a real fight for pole position here. 4 cars in it. 2 of them on identical times and pole position. Denoyer is currently on a personal best. He's done a 21.1 in the first sector. That's a pretty good time considering Lowy's most recent lap was a 21.1. So he's around the right sort of pace. Let's see how he goes as we head down the hill and into the boot section. And we're stepping out a little bit of understeer though, not helping it turn in. Reigning champion. By Mythic having some issues. Fonseca improving to P10. Hey, we've got Ruben Andrade joining us as well. We're going to have a great, big, huge fight. A huge grid today. It's amazing. 25 drivers. Oh, again, that rear end stepping out. He's got understeer coming into the boot and oversteer coming out of it. But he has spun at turn 13, so that'll be the end of his lap. He was improving in the first two sectors. Daniel Wolf's gone off. Jack Olivier's gone off. Gutierrez has gone off. Everybody's going off. There's 3.5 minutes left of the session. Lowy's in the pits, ready to go for his final attempt. Jake Fimeston's still out on track, though. He's on some soft tyres. Well, of course, he's qualifying. Why wouldn't you be on anything other than soft tyres? Joao Guerra is going to put his hat in the ring. He has just gone purple in the first sector with a 20.922. Taking everything through that chicane. And I think that was flat through the outer loop. I don't know the corner numbers yet. This is turn 9, I think. That was turn 10, sorry, turn 10. This is turn 11 here. He's a tenth and a half down. He's now got Mixtron in the way in traffic. Felix has now matched that time in the first sector. Both in the 20.9s. Felix went invalid and he's gone into the pits. This could be the most dramatic qualifying session for a long time in AF1. Mixtron is still in the way. He's held up Joao Guerra. Guerra hasn't got a lot of time to get out the pits and get a last lap in. Same applies for most of these drivers now. Jake Feemster has got just enough time to give it another run. He hasn't improved. He needs to be going like now. He's got 2:20 left. Or is he going to wait? If he's out of that pits with about 1:30 to go, on track with 1:30 to go, he should have enough time to start a lap. Here comes the pressure. I don't know why I'm still looking at him. Guerra setting out of the pits. Olivier is waiting for a gap on his lap. He's getting some clean air. He's also got a car behind him catching. That is Fonseca. Joao Guerra was on a best lap. On his personal best, he's coming in the pit. A lot of invalidated lap times in it, so no one's improving. With 2 minutes to go in this session. Feemster is still in the pits. He's just come out of the pits. He's got 1:40 left. He's got Olivier about to come past him as well. Roman Nesh is in there as well. Taking everything on that exit of turn 1. Looking good so far. Jay Feemster's going to have to be full pelt on this final flying lap to be able to have a chance at qualifying and beating Lowy. Lowy, however, has purpled the first sector by half a tenth rather. Has Feemster got enough time to even start a lap? I think I just saw Guerra go a little wide on there. In fact, yes, his lap... Oh, he's on a lap. He's on a lap? Apparently his lap time's invalidated. Never mind. Lowy has gone slower in the second sector, 32.2. Still quite fast compared to Ludwig Eriksson in P7, who's done a personal best with a 32.6 in the middle sector. But this is it for Lowy. Can he improve on his lap, or is it going to be all down to Jake Feemster? There's a crash, and Lucas Faber is parked on the inside of turn 13. He's completely flustered, Lowy. He's going to be easing back, ready to start a final attempt. The pressure's on. The track is clear from turn 13. Lowy's got clear track in front of him. Daniel Wolf's only coming through turn 1 now, so he's got plenty of clear air. Here comes Lowy to start his lap. Jake Feemster's got 30 seconds and he's coming through turn 13 now as well, but he's in a bit of a queue. He's got Guerra in front and Raffaello behind. This is why we don't abuse the admin features. Because now we can't figure out who has been muted permanently. I didn't see anyone be muted permanently. Let's have a look at Lowy's first sector time. It's slower. It's a 21.0. Session's done now. Let's compare that to Jake Feemster's time. Joao Guerra has done a personal best, so has Jake Feemster, but it is 2/10 slower than what Lowy could have done in that first sector. Felix has purple the final sector, doesn't improve from P3. By 7 thousandths! It doesn't get closer than this! What can Lowy do? He's purpled the second sector! It was miles, okay. Three corners to go now for Lowy. Jake Feemster, meanwhile, will be coming to the end of the second sector. We'll get his time in a minute. Is this going to be enough for Lowy? He's about 2/10 down on what his personal best was in that first sector, but he's found some time in the second sector. 1 corner to go for Lowy. Jake Feemster is half a second down on Lowy's time at the minute on this lap. Lowy's going to come to the line. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is by 3/10. 26.6 for Lowy. We switch to Jake Feemster now. Felix is going to take P3 at best, unless Gecha can be on something. He's on a personal best, though. 1 corner left for Feemster. Contreras goes to P13. Feemster out the final corner. Everything, it's all over for Feemster. Crashes into the pits. Gecha moves to P2. Trout Gecha will start on the front row of the grid. Your top 8 is Lowy, Gecha, Feemster, Felinix, Olivier, Labiak, Wolf and Ericsson. Otherwise, my mistake. There was an improvement from Denoy from P9 to P6. So that's Labiak 7th, Wolf 8th, Ericsson 9th, Suriano is 10th. Then we have Mythic, Fonseca, Contreras, Garcia, Trader Joe, then Weber, Roshek, Gutierrez, Raffaello, Mixtrol, Redacted, Nesh, Wilson, Andrade. Lukey Smokey should slot into P19 if he joins, if he's able to join in time. But otherwise, that is your grid. Andrade wasn't able to set a flying lap, a bit like Weber last weekend. Hopefully, last time out. Hopefully, he can improve from that. But there is your grid for round 3 at Watkins Glen. 34 laps ahead of us. This is going to be good. This will be a form of damage control now for Olivier. He's got a championship to uphold. His teammate is behind him, and his teammate is his championship rival. No, he's not. It's Felinix, who starts P4. So the 2 championship protagonists are P4 and P5. But Gecha is in the mix as well, and he's in P2. Lowy will be hoping to prevent anybody from getting P1 in the race, which could have some ramifications at the end of the season, considering this may just be a guest appearance from Lowy. Swindon was terrible. Thank you for asking. Mostly it was dark. I tried to take a picture in the middle of a roundabout. It didn't work because I couldn't get. My arm's not long enough, so it just looked like I'm on a look at me. I'm on some paving, so it just didn't work. This was all like waiting for an hour while my dad went to go and find some jump leads. So Lowy purpled the first 2 sectors, but Lowy didn't purple the first sector on his flying lap. Felinix purpled the 3rd sector. That's going to mean absolutely nothing coming into qualifying, but it's just a little tidbit that I can say to pass the time before this race. This should be a truly enthralling race. I'm expecting. There are some people saying a one-stop is not possible. I think it might be. We are 2 minutes away from the start at Watkins Glen. So we'll take you through the grid. Andrade driving in a Turkish Torpedoes car today, but he's not a Turkish Torpedoes driver. He starts from P24. Then we have Jake Is that right? P24? P25. P24. Then Jake Wilson starts alongside him in the... I've forgotten what the car is. The Blue Devils racing car. Then we have Roman Nesh and I Redacted on row 11. Row 10 is Mixtrol and Fabio Raffaello. I'm seeing the 2 Blue Devils cars and the 2... Carolina racing cars on the same row, even though it's a different driver in that one. Then we have someone missing there, but we have Juan Manuel Gutierrez and Adam Roshek. That'll be actually Lukey Smook in that blank spot. Lucas Weber, then Trader Joe. Another blank spot that should be filled by... who should be filling that spot? Contreras, I think. No, Contreras is alongside. It should be... I don't know, but then there's Contreras, Mario Fonseca, whose skin still doesn't work, by Mythic, Mattia Suriano, Ludwig Eriksson, Daniel Wolf, Matti Labiak, Andrea De Noia, Jack Olivier, Felinix, Jake Feimster, Joao Guerra, and Lowy starts on pole position. Oh, it's Garcia. It's Garcia in that second gap I mentioned. There is your grid for round 3 at Watkins Glen. They are glorious cars, and we're about to have some glorious racing. I'm going to sit down because this is going to be good. Now, as I say, there's new rules so that the back of the grid has as much chance as the front of the grid now. As we go to the lights, the safety car will come to the front of the grid and we'll be away. The safety car, fun fact, has a top speed of 420 kilometers per hour with 100% turbo enabled. And is geared specifically to deal with the specific...
Actually, there was nothing.
Thank you. Thank you, Polly. But we're underway in Watkins Glen. Who set up the server and put one too few laps on?
I forgot it was formation. I would have said it if I remembered.
I mean, league organizer.
I was gonna say that it actually goes over 550 on an oval if you have the gearing.
What? Since when?
Yep. Since I changed the gearing, just because I wanted to test it out.
Just see how fast it can go. Is this the current? This is not the current version, though, is it? That's just the one that you've messed about with, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But still,
You can't enter the final gearing on the one we have.
which is still, you know, a bit more than what you need.
It's well more than what you need. It's enough to beat these cars around Daytona, and these cars are doing 400 at Daytona. This car will do 405 in the corners at Daytona.
These cars do 400, and this does 420, and you can just hit the wall and still go fast.
Thank you for that, Poppy.
It's all-wheel drive as well. It just doesn't lose speed.
Yeah.
I don't hear you in the Discord. I'm hearing you on the stream, so there's a bit of a delay.
Oh, of course, he's on. Yeah, I'm on push to talk in Discord.
Right. It's like that, Goodwood stream when I was talking to you while I was racing.
Oh yeah. I told you to shut up, and then I muted everybody. If I time this right with my free camera skills, I should be able to meet the safety car as it comes to the final corner. That's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work. I've been pinged for something. Have we already had an incident report or something?
You've just failed.
We've already... Oh, it's an AF4 incident report. Okay. I mean, they're still there. They're still there. I'm not, like, way behind. I'm just a bit way ahead. So now will be the time for the drivers to... Oh, as we have a couple of...
You're just too fast for them, Josh.
I was just too fast for them. I mean, I took the NASCAR layout, so, yeah. Kind of cheating. But I'm going to go for here now, I suppose, and just sort of follow them round, and hopefully I'll time this right. This is the point where I need to stand up again, because... let's go for Lowy, ready for the camera. All 25 cars ready to go. For round 3 of Watkins Glen. Here we go. Right, it's about to get loud.
Farewell.
Farewell, Polly. Waiting for everyone to come around the final corner. And there's the final driver, so at any point from now, the safety car can peel away. There it goes. And we go green in Watkins Glen. Looks like a pretty clean start so far, relatively speaking. I think there was the two Macca cars coming together. 4 wide into turn 1 towards the back of the grid, though. And involved by Mythic, where everyone's away nice and cleanly, it seems. But there we go. Lowy leads away from Feimster, who's got a great start over Joao Guerra. Fulinix takes 4th place. Jack Olivier fighting with Fulinix for 4th. He's got the outside line for turn for the inner loop, the chicane. Feimster's got the inside for the chicane. Guerra might have had to take the grass there. I think he did. So he's going to have a really bad run at the chicane. Feimster's going to try and have to swing around the outside of Guerra through the outer loop. And does so. Good move from him. But they're still side by side. But he's got the inside for the next corner, so it should be pretty safe. We've got Raffaello has crashed out. Lucas Weber apparently has the lead of this race. I think he's already left. He's already quit, I think. No, he's not. Where is he? Is there some sort of weird transponder issue I'm missing? Weber has crashed at turn 10, turn 11, I think, turn 10. So was Adam Roshek. Mixed Troll's involved as well. That's 3. Can we get a 4th? Do we get an early safety car? Daniel Wolf. Oh, there has been a collision there. That's Matteo Suriano. De Noya's involved in that as well. I think I saw Daniel Wolf. It was around that area. Because I caught it around where Daniel Wolf was. But De Noya rejoins with P17 out of the points. Lowy leads from the first lap. Feimster is 2nd, then Joao Guerra, then Fulinix, then Jack Olivier. Ericsson is 6th, then Lebiak 7th, Contreras 8th, Fonseca 9th, Gutierrez is 10th. Lots of people following in tow though. There's plenty of opportunities. Guerra goes defensive into turn 1, actually trying to make a move on Feimster, but doesn't make it. Fulinix, however, is ready to pounce as usual. Through turn 2, he's got the inside of turn 3, has Guerra. They almost touched there. No love lost between these two. will go right on board with Gerhard as he heads. He's got the outside line. He's topping out in 6th, coming towards the end of the straight. Everyone on push to pass really early on in this race. But this is all giving Lowy an opportunity to pull away. And it's also giving Feimster a bit of breathing room now. Action-packed start. Trader Joe's made up 2 places at the start of this race, and Wolf has dropped down at least 4. He's in a really good start for Trader Joe. Gutierrez is just passing Fonseca. That's because there's a crash in the middle of the track. That's Fonseca that's gone round. There's a scramble up ahead. I think that was by Mythic that went off. No, it wasn't. It was Daniel Wolf that went into the barriers. Clipped the grass on the entry to the corner. Where is he? He's lost. That's taken him a long way to get round. There's lots of crashes, but only 2 people involved in that. That's wide for by Mythic. There goes Andrade. From the back of the grid to 12th place is an insane start to this race. I say he did start 25th and last. He's already made up half the field. That's a slow Denoy in the background as well. Seems to be using his push to pass to try and pull away from Gecha, but the gap is staying constant from him to Lowy, which is a promising sign early on in this race. We'll see who's on what tyre in just a second. In fact, I can tell you now, Lowy's on hards, so is Gecha, so is Olivier, Contreras and Trader Joe. They're all the top 11. Feimster, Felinix, Ericsson, Labiak, Gutierrez, Garcia are all on softs. So sort of a very split strategy at this point in time. Half the field taking softs, half the field taking hards. So this could be a very interesting race panning out later on. But there is a bit of a gap going on. Olivier has lost ground on the rest of the field. There's a whole sort of pack forming from 1st to 6th. There's a bit of a loose pack, but it's there. And there's about a 4-second gap back to Olivier, who has also got a 4-second gap back to Contreras and the rest of the field. So this league battle could become very interesting with strategy later on. As I say, half of this group is on hards, half of this group is on softs. So we'll see how that pans out. Garcia getting very close to his countryman in one of the Hispania cars. That's Juan Manuel Gutierrez, who's also close to his other countryman, Felipe Contreras. It's a Spanish trio. Is that the Three Musketeers or was that French? Oh! Clipping the grass on the entry to the final corner. Garcia goes straight into the wall at high speed. He's going to have to rejoin carefully. He's going to wait for after Matteo Suriano is going to come here. Verdac's going to be in the way. Fonseca. Okay, everyone's passed, so everyone's okay there. Guerra on the push to pass. Right side by side again with Feimster, but Feimster hasn't got that top speed. Having to cut the corners just to stay in tow. Had to correct there, so that is... Oh, Felinix takes 2nd place. Feimster takes 3rd. I completely missed all of that. I don't know how that switched hands. And Labiak's passed Ericsson for 5th place. Lots of changes. Felinix looks like Felix did have the pace in practice to maybe challenge for the lead. He's got 3 seconds to find, though. We'll take a look at Ludwig Eriksson, very close to Matti Labiak, who is in turn very close to Joao Vicente Guerra and Feimster and Felinix. It's like a 5-car queue. Having a little look into turn 12 at the bottom of the hill. Not close enough. In fact, he's lost time. Half moves are going to lose you time at certain corners here. A little bit like Catalunya, but this is better for overtaking, I promise. With Felinix on the soft tyres, so is Feimster. Looking to go for a short, sweet stint to try and catch up and maybe even pass low and get some clean air. 31s from Feimster and Guerra, 28 from Felinix on that last lap. Because of all the chaos that was going on towards the chicane, you lose a lot of time making moves into the chicane. I say some of these guys seem to be having straight line speed issues. There it is again. You see it, you hear it bouncing off the limiter. Or maybe I'm taking too much curb on the first part of that. Having to check up a little bit. So Ericsson's in tow now. But Ericsson's had to give up because of the dirty air through the outer loop. I swear most of these corners have names, but I don't know what most of these corners' names are. I know the 90, I know inner loop, outer loop. That's it. But I'll get there by the end. If I look at racingcircuits.info, they'll tell me. Okay, he's struggling through turn 12 there. Oh, some of these are quite easily named. I could probably recognise some of them. But these last three corners haven't got names. It's a little annoying. Lowy yet to use any of his push to pass. And Felinix, as usual, using them quite early, but he's been a bit more cautious with using them as he has in the first 2 rounds. Only using 4 of them so far. Same for Jake Feemster. Ericsson almost losing the car. Denoyer has lost the car. He's gone off at again at the third to last. He's done multiple times in open practice that I've seen. Just now into this sort of no man's land, somewhere between Ivan Acton and Lucas Weber in P18. Is that a car early into the pits? It is. Garcia's into the pits for the first time. Very early to be doing that. Lap 7 is not when I would expect someone to come in. On the soft tyres, they can probably last, I reckon they can last, if they can last 15 laps, a 1 stop is possible, but I reckon lap 12 is more likely, so soft, medium perhaps, soft, hard perhaps. We'll see. I have no data on strategy, so who knows. All I know is I've heard people saying that softs don't last, and 1 stop isn't possible. So hopefully we should see some real mixed up strategies. Roman Nesh currently P11, very close to by Mythic, and so too is Matty Soriano just behind this. It's just a Roman Nesh. I see he comes out of the toe. Oh! A bit of ping has given Roman Nesh a bit of a heart attack, and me in fact, and he's gone wide there at the heel. And there goes Soriano to take the position. See if he can be a bit more fearless in the face of ping. When you're going this fast, ping is the worst thing you want to see. Felinix using his 6th push to pass. Yes, 6th. To try and catch Lowy. Gap at about 2.5, and Lowy's reaching the first lap cars now. That's mixed troll. We've had a lot of early drama. I feel very spread out after only 8 laps. Mythic going wide at turn 1. Whoa, what happened to Matty Soriano there? That was weird. It was like he turned too much for turn 2, but that was a bit of a less dramatic outcome than I was expecting from that. Still staying nose to tail, these two. Let's get the helicam on. Let's have a look at this. We have it enabled a bit later. That's helpful. There we go, that's better. In fact, I'll switch to Guerra, who's very close to Jake Feemster. Heading on to lap number 9. Well, lap 8 of this 33 lap race, because someone forgot to turn up the number of laps. What effect that will have on the strategy decisions? Probably very little, actually. Wide again goes Joao Guerra. Side by side, Soriano and Mythic going towards the latter stages of this lap. Roman Nesh is right there to try and take advantage. He's not close enough. Well, he's not going to make a move into the final corner, certainly, but he's got to get a good run out of this corner. Soriano can't use any push to pass. Mythic and Nesh choose not to. Is Mythic going to make a move into the 90? No, he's not. Thank you, Dark Psycho, for following. Thank you very much. Heading through the S's towards the back straight now. It could be close enough. A bit of slipstream could be enough to bring a move on towards the inner loop, but it is tricky. Daniel Wolf has gone round again. That's in the exit of turn 13. The third from last corner. Oh, Mythic again clipping a bit too much curb and going a little skew-whiff. Having to correct it a little bit on the exit. Mistakes will be punished, and that's just from the curves in this track. Feemster and Guerra now having to get around mixed roll. Oh, mixed roll, trying to save it. He could have collected somebody, and almost did actually. He almost collected, that wasn't Layback behind, that was Wilson actually, his own teammate, almost collected him. as he recovers. Nesh, however, does crash and he has teleported back to the pits. Guerra really close to Feimster in the braking zone of the 90. A good run out of the 90 could get him a really big opportunity into the inner loop. And he has got that, but we have seen the past few laps Guerra struggling with straight line speed. We'll hear it topping out now. Oh, it doesn't top out that time. Okay, fair enough. Guerra takes... Oh, fine! I just seen Feimster well saved to avoid the wall, but that was a long way off. Leviak will take P4, Ericsson will take P5, and Feimster will take P6. The recovery drive begins. Gutierrez getting very close to control. Only 4/10 off. Andrade again having a very good showing today, up to P13 from the back of the grid at the start of this race. Oh, Gutierrez getting a bit too trigger happy with the power on the exit of the toe. And okay, that's the end of the battle. Next battle, Leviak, Ericsson, Feimster. Leviak's been having a great showing these last few races. Almost took home a podium in Sebring. And was running in the podium places in Laguna Seca. Ericsson going well. We are policing track limits there, so that could come into play later on in this race. Can we stop, please, in the Twitch chat? Ericsson looking right, looking left for a move into the inner loop. Leviak's had to slow down, so is Ericsson a bit more, which brings Feimster back into this. Ericsson's been really compromised coming out of the inner loop. Feimster's ready to take advantage. But doesn't for now. These two are on similar pace, but the qualifying pace, one lap pace, Feimster was definitely faster. I mean, he nearly beat Lowy. That's real. Can we please... Boop. I've lost my train of thought. Ericsson getting really close, but again goes wide. Can he get a good enough one at the final corner? No, not a move. The turn moving to the 90 is not going to happen. He's got a really good run out of the S's. Onto the back straight. He's going to go for the outside, but he's already topping out. They're both in push to pass, but nothing's going to happen if they both top out, which they clearly have. Ericsson's brakes so much later for that chicane. That must have been, I guess that must have been Leviak backing out of that. But Ericsson takes P4. A very bold move into the corner. Wolf still having some issues. This is at the hairpin. He's on the inside of the hairpin, so he's going to be stuck there for a little while as the leaders come through now. Yeah, probably the best course of action there. Feimster really close to Matty Leviak now. Not taking chances. Not taking chances. Feimster really close to Leviak still as we go through the boot.
A pedocal is a subdivision
Don't want to know.
of the zonal soil
Don't want to know.
It is a class
Don't want
of
to
soil
know.
which forms in
Don't want to know.
semi-arid and arid
Don't want to
regions.
know. Don't want to know. I keep losing my train of thought because of this. Leviak's hanging on just to the back of Ludwig Eriksson. Yeah, I thought that was going to be what's going to happen, but that means Polly's going to try and come into this chat. So I'm just going to go ahead and do boop. Deafen myself from the streaming chat so Polly can't come back in. LOL. Master of the Fourth still raging on as I deal with Twitch issues. Seems to still hanging on, but just can't get close enough to make a move. He's going to have to wait for a little mistake from Matty Labiak. But the same could be said too for Labiak on Ericsson. We're approaching. We're just past the 1/3 distance in this race. Still no pit stops from the leading cars, but I expect that will change soon. Felinix on the softs should be pitting soon, I imagine. But he doesn't. We're on lap. We start lap 13 of this race and doesn't. But as I said, making lap 15 would be enough for a one-stop strategy. A fastest lap from Lowy on the hard tyres, as I said, with a 27. But I say yes, that gap is maintaining very well, which is more of a credit to Lowy, I think, because hard versus soft. Feimster really close this time to the back of Matty Labiak. Labiak also going side by side with Ericsson. Is this going to be 3 wide down to the chicane? Is Feimster even going to try it? They're both topping out. It is 3 wide. Feimster down the inside of both of them. How and neither? How and none? Oh, Labiak's off. Ericsson's off. I saw in the background. I also saw a car on the inside of the corner. That was something F. Raffaello, who also went off and just decided to go on the escape road. Feimster takes home is P4, Labiak P6, Ericsson P7. That still went a little better than I was expecting, a 3-wide move into the chicane, but still not great. De Nooijer having some issues in his championship defence this season, but he will take P15 off of I Redacted. Now into the points paying positions, we'll switch to Andrade, who's looking at a move on Contreras and his way through the field from back of the grid. P12 at the minute. Andrade having a look into the heel, into the toe, but it's not close enough. Or at least he thinks better of it for this time. He's right on ball because Contreras is already going defensive towards the heel. He's looking to the outside. He does look to the outside. He taps Contreras. They're both still going. There will be a little bit of damage to the both of them. Jack Olivier on the push to pass, getting close to Jake Feimster to try and move it to P4. That's P7 to P4 in 1 lap. Suddenly, his damage control isn't too bad. These drivers making a much better race of it than I was expecting on the soft tyres. I would have thought, considering people saying, oh no, 15 laps, no way, 15 laps going to work. They're clearly making it work. We're on lap 14. We've just started lap 14 of this race. I'll say that, we're actually 2/3 of the way through the 13th lap of this race. 14th. Andrade now going to look to the inside of Contreras, coming towards the inner loop. Contreras gives up the position. There we go. Andrade moves to P11. This is a stunning race from Andrade. He had a really good race in AF3 at Macau on Friday as well as a guest appearance. That was a last-minute appearance from him. Did a blinding job. Feimster very close to Jack Olivier still. He managed to hold on to the back of him for now. Feimster on the soft tyres, Olivier on the hards. Felinix the top runner on the soft tyres. Then Feimster, then Labiak. A lot of most of the hard runners dropping back through the field, with the exception of Olivier, Guerra, and Lowy. Feimster, who's just purpled the first sector, was down the inside towards the inner loop. Olivier really vigorously defending that, and Feimster having to go all crossed up through the second part of the inner loop there. So at what point will Felinix push? Pit, rather. He has used all his push to pass, as he has done the last so far this season. I still don't think he realises that he's only got 10. He's using them far too quickly, but there we go. Jake Feimster. I'm going to get that wrong for a very long time. Jake Feimster. I know, Jens is terrible. 9 laps down. Well, it's 12 laps down. Because Wolf is 3 laps down himself. It's atrocious. He needs to lose the lead lines. Oh, Jack Olivier! He's almost lost it on the exit of turn 13, and he's taken Jake Feimster out with him. Labiak almost goes square into the side of him. Felix is into the pits now. One thing we haven't seen from this season of AF, Labiak into the pits as well. So the soft one is coming in now. They've made it to lap 16. Or the end of lap 15. So they've made it to long enough to be able to come in and take the hard tyres to the end of the race. Mattia Suriano, very close to Gutierrez. To the outside goes Suriano, swoops around the outside. Beautiful move from Mattia Suriano on Juan Gutierrez. Feimster's going to come out he's looking at P12, maybe P13. He's going to go out behind Trader Joe just about, I think. No, he's going to come out in front of Trader Joe. Well, Fonseca's had a really slow exit to the pit lane because he's just been overtaken by Feimster on the exit there. That's strange. Oh, was Fonseca in the pits? I don't think he was, actually. Nikita Batesma. Yes, we need to rename him that. We need to rename him that on Discord. Fonseca is closing, weirdly. Jake Feimster's on the fresh tyres, but there is... it'll take a couple of laps to get this tyres up to full grip, as is the case with AC. Normally takes 2 or 3 laps. Depends on the tyre compound. Jack Olivier into the pits now. He's on the hards. He was on the hards, so this is going to be interesting. I was surprised he's gone for this and pitted so early on those hard tyres. Suriano into the pits as well. Garcia's retired. Felix purpled that final sector on his way out of the pits. Is Olivier going to come out in some clean air, I wonder? Where is he? He's going to come out just behind Contreras, I think. No, he's going to come out ahead of Contreras, but Contreras got a better run out of the corner. So Labiak has jumped Olivier in the pits. Freelinix 2 has pitted. And the gap there is about 29 seconds to the lead of the race. This is lap 18 of 33. Jack Olivier, yes, of course, defeating Romain Grosjean just yesterday. It was incredible. But look at all the... But so far we've seen at least 5 people who are capable of beating Jack Olivier. Therefore, there's 5 people who could beat Romain Grosjean. I beat Olivier last week at Le Mans. Ergo, I'm faster than Romain Grosjean. Just saying. Ericsson into the pits now. He was on the soft tyres. So he's going to switch to the hards now. So one stop is clearly the better strategy, apparently. But when will Lowy pull the trigger? As Andrade comes in from P7. Excellent job from him so far. Looks like he's going to come out in probably P15 or P16. Oh, that's Mythic who spun. Mythic from P6 spun on the exit of the 90. He's past Jack Olivier. Side by side is Ericsson and Feimster. He's got to slow it. There's got a slow by Mythic to deal with as well. Is Mythic going to stay out of the way? Yes, he is. The battling's still going. Topping out now because of having to use the push to pass. Oh, I thought that was going then. I thought he was going then. But he's kept a hold of it. And set in the toe. Lowy is in. Responding to Felinix's challenge. Guerra is following him in. So this will be the moment now. Will Felix come out in the lead of this race? We'll keep a hold of this battle for now, because this is close. I'll keep a hold. I'll keep an eye on what's going on. Felix is coming around turn 14 now. Lowy coming to the end of the pits, and so is Denoya, but he's a lap down. So Lowy will maintain the lead of this race. What happened to the bets? Arda hasn't been here to do them as often. And I don't know how to do them. So Felix will come out in second place and will have lost a lot of time, about 10 seconds to Lowy. Oh, Ericsson getting crossed up through turn 13. Gutierrez in from P4. Olivier really close to Matty Labiak in the battle for what is a net P4 now. Through this as they go, both of them on push to pass. Labiak's have got 3 fewer than Olivier. Oh, bump draft. I think I saw a bump draft there. There's a squeaky wheel. There's a high performance automotive car in the way. That is Adam Roshek. But Labiak's stuck behind it. Oh, there's a bit of a... Oh, Olivier's gone. Oh, and he's held on to it. Bloody hell, that was an awesome save from Jack Olivier. He came together with a seemingly confused Adam Roshek coming into the chicane. And Labiak just decided, no, I'm not having any of this. I'm not getting involved in this. And rightly so, sort of the smart thing to do in this situation, I think. But he stayed with him, so we'll fight another day. Redacted in the battle for the not-so points-paying positions, 16th and 17th. I've noticed this a lot recently with some of Lowy's guest appearances, especially in races where pit stops were involved. The later stops is always where Lowy pushes. He's a master of that, of the preventing the undercut, basically. Because it was 3 seconds when Felix came into the pits, and it's 10 seconds when Lowy came out of it. Adam Oshik's had another crash on the exit of turn 15. Denoya stuck on the inside of the inner loop. By Mythics in a nice battle for P11 at the minute. Let's take a look at some onboard graphics for now. There we go. That gap's still increasing in the lead to 11 seconds now. This is Lowy's race to lose, it seems, and Olivier is only going to take home P4 unless something crazy happens, like, oh, I don't know, a safety car involving a 4-car crash? Question mark? Contreras is going to get nicely out of the way of Mixtrol, and vice versa. Mixtrol's going to get nicely out of the way of Contreras. Same for by Mythic. And now, because of Denoya's crash, Weber's on the cusp of taking home a point. It's a second gap there, but actually let's switch back to the gap between Contreras and Mythic. So that's the only one within a second at the moment. Roshek and Redacted is quite close as well, actually. 2 different lines through there. Contreras taking a more constant line, Mythic turning in later. How come you had to retire, Ben? Coming. You say Denoya only 15th, it's not a usual picture. It is this for this season, it seems. He's not gelling well with the IndyCar, it looks like, after dominating virtually dominating the Formula E, if you could ever have one person who's dominating it. Let's say reigning champion, as I said. But really struggling with the IndyCar, it seems. Not getting any good results out of the car. His results this season have been... I love how Polly's in the voice chat. It's all muted. I'm not undeafening that. Let's see. Denoya is currently down in 18th place. He's got a 15th in Sebring and didn't start in Laguna Seca. Although I think he did turn up. I thought he did turn up. But he's in 15th again. Under pressure from Lucas Weber. Just like this is. Just like Contreras is. Against Mythic. He's got a much better run. Contreras has gone... Oh, he's had to save it a little bit. You just see in the mirrors, he's just about saved it, but Mythic will take that P11. Let's take a check-in with Ruben Andrade from the back of the grid. He's done an excellent job. He's currently P10. Made some more places at the pit stops. And that P10 looks fairly certain at this stage of the race. There's about 12 laps to go on lap 22 of 33. Hey look, I can maths. Retirements in AF are quite rare. We've had Adam Roshek have to rejoin the server. Curious as to what's happening there. There's a pedal issue for Benjamin Garcia. That sucks. That sucks, man. It's really unlucky. I'm sorry, man. Jake seems to staying close to Matty Labiak, about 1.2 seconds, and slowly closing. It's down to 1.1, so it's, yeah, it is closing now. But Fiems's only got one push to pass at his disposal, whereas Labiak has 3. Though barely having to use any, he hasn't needed to. It's like that old Shaggy meme. He only had to use 5% of his power. Though he only needed about 3% of his power to win this race. And the gap is 14 seconds at the front. I'll give you some comparison on lap times. Lowy's last lap was a 27.7. Fullinix's, they were on the same tyre, was a 29.4. Gerhar's a bit closer, 27.8. But let's say Lowy is the fastest man on track. With the exception of Gerhard by some margin. Luger's Racing has returned. Jake Feimster and Felinix taking that slot, I believe. I don't know if Jake Feimster was in there permanently because he was a part of Squeaky Wheels. But I guess that disbanded because Ben Hayes didn't turn up. Lucas Faber getting very close to Denoise, within 4 tenths. Oh, that's because Denoise in the wall. Denoise in the wall on the exit of the chute. So Weber is on track to get his first points of the season. He wasn't able to turn up. Was that right? Did I get that right? Yes, he wasn't able to turn up for Sebring. He was looking really strong at Daytona before that got moved to round 5. But a P20 in Laguna Seca. He didn't have a lot of time to practice. It's not much of a change for Jake Feimster considering his livery choices, because it's very similar to the Squeaky Wheels car that he was driving, the NART Ferrari colours, so it's sort of the white and dark blue anyway, so it's very similar to Lugas. It's barely a change. Out of the final corner, and Jake Feimster getting very close to Matty Laviak, wanting to get that P5 back. He was looking really strong. As I say, at the top of the show, he was level with Lowy. Joint for pole in qualifying until Lowy took 3.5 tenths. So really strong showing all season really for Jake Feimster. Yeah, then Lowy's sort of gotten all the gears in place, flexed his muscles and gone bang. 15 seconds. Haha. Really good run for Feimster out of the outer loop. He's getting much closer to Matty Laviak. Into the chute, he gets even closer. So I reckon a move into the heel in 2 corners' time is on the cards if we can get a good run through the toe. Laviak's gone wide. He's going to get a good run out of the corner though, and he does so. Look at that pull away. Feimster's going to have to be very cautious about when he uses that push to pass to full effect, and the chances are it will be on the back straight. A little moment there will just a little bit of a confidence knock and a bit of a time gap knock as well, you know. Both real, both physical and mental, all from just a little bit of a wiggle of that steering wheel. But that was a really good run through the 90. So this could be on here. Is Feimster going to try and pull that push to pass now? Is Labiak going to use one of his 3 remaining to try and stay ahead? Neither of them are, so this could be a good move for Feemster. He looks at it, but decides against it. In fact, he's missed the apex for the first part, so he's going to be way off. And he's going to lose plenty of time now. My voice is going already. This is not good. I got like 8 laps left of this race, and my voice is going bad. I think there are differences. The gear shifts sound different, but I don't know. I have to compare them side by side, I think. Oh, it is the same creator, to be fair, yeah. Lowy needs to be in real life racing, I think. Oh, Layback goes wide at turn 13. Feemster has a look, but he isn't close enough to take advantage. I say, yeah, Lowy needs a chance in real life racing. I was just thinking about this today. Like, he would easily be better. He could be towards the top of F3. If he joined it right now, he'd be towards the top of F3 in real life. So he needs a shot. So if anybody happens to be a scout, firstly, hi, I'm Josh Brooks. Please hire me in any capacity. Give job, please. But definitely hire Lowy. To the outside goes Jake Feemster, who's going to go for it. Layback backing out again from moving to the chicane. Seemingly not willing to get confrontational into that corner, but he is right on the back of him. We'll switch to Layback's on board now because he is close enough. Maybe a move later on. But this is the Layback's best corner. Out of the toe. Out of the toe and into the toe. Down this straight. The boot straight. The sole. Yeah, the sole. I noticed behind Ericsson. That's not Ericsson. That's Roman Nesh actually. Ericsson's between there. Not a lot of battling going on. I was expecting a little bit more from this track, but I was also expecting a lot of safety cars, so we've only had... Oh, we haven't even had any yet, I don't think. Have we had any safety cars this season? I don't think we have. Ruben Andrade is continuing his incredible drive through the field. P10, and within a second now of Juan Manuel Gutierrez for P9. A top 10 result on debut in this season would be insane. As Denoya comes into the pits from P18. Mythic and Contreras also coming into the pits. Try and make something of the end to their race, but they're going to get jumped both by Fonseca. So there we're going for 2 stops. I don't think that's going to work out for them, 2 stops. Oh, it's easily possible, I think, for Lowy to do well in real life. I think just being able to set up the car is one thing. That's like the biggest thing that gets him started. So he's not sort of relying on his engineers or just sort of natural skill. He's got the natural skill, certainly, but he's got the setup ability, and to do it quickly enough. He'll know exactly what needs changing on the car. As I said, he's come into this race with little to no practice. Probably about half an hour's practice in total just before this race. Decided sort of, I think, woke up this morning and decided, I know, I'm going to race AF1 today. Is there room? And we've gone, yeah, sure, come on in. A really good run for Andrade through there. He's come really close to Gutierrez, who's going defensive really early on this straight. And again, much later braking from Andrade compared to Gutierrez, so he's right on his gearbox already. But he's hit him at a bad time. There's no gap opening up here. To the outside would be a good move, I would think. Yes, but he's gone for it now. Both of them in push to pass. Into the chicane they go. Gutierrez. Well, they both decide, nah, I don't want. How do you take that chicane again? I can't remember. But Andrade does take that position because they both shit themselves. But Gutierrez shat himself worse. There's enough of a gap back. Fonseca might just take P11. In fact, he will. There he goes. Let's switch the battle for P12. Trader Joe having a good showing today. Started 15th. He's up to P12, but he's being chased down by Mythic. Jake Wilson has gone off. That's at the turn 13, third to last corner. That seems to be a real hot spot for spins today. You say the inevitable VSC. I don't think we've had a single safety car in this season so far. Oh, Mythic is looking to the inside of Trader Joe. Not going to work this time. Trader Joe stays ahead. I'd love a safety car right now. Don't get me wrong, I would. And there's plenty of cars all together to make it happen. Labiak, Nash and Weber all together. So this battle's got 3 cars ready to collect into a blockage if necessary. The ingredients are there more than they usually are to cause a safety car. All right on board with Mythic as he tries to get past Trader Joe. He's going to go to the outside through turn 3. Oh, he's got that. He's got enough of a gap down the inside of turn 4, but Mythic's getting a bit wobbly with his steering, with his motions. Trader Joe's just behind. We'll go for the off-board shot for this, I think. Helicam might be the best shot. They do come together. They've clattered. Mythic off to the right in the runoff. Trader Joe has... It was going slowly now. It has happened. I kind of called it there. Oh, and who's that behind? That was Contreras going a little wide at the outer loop. Being followed by his teammate Denoy, who's a lap down on that. It kind of sounds like the safety car, but that's bad judgment because it's a lap car. We are not... Yeah, not on the safety car. No, we're not on the safety car. Ridiculous. Ridiculous to think so. We're only 3 laps from the end, and that was only 2 cars. The Gutierrez is quite close to Fonseca to try and recover that top 10 finish. One can dream, indeed, the safety car. Super close, but not close enough. Did I just see... I saw Lowy go red there. Lowy has spun. Lowy spun. Lowy had a moment there at the outer loop. I saw his name go red for a second. But the gap's closed down 7 seconds. It's not going to be... In fact, closed down more than that. But Felix is still... Yeah, it's about 8 seconds, I think. It'll settle down around 8.5 seconds. But Lowy's just got to carry it home now. He's got 3 laps left. A win for Felix will be a huge boost to him in the championship, especially on a day where Jack Olivier is not going to get those full points. In fact, he's still going to have a huge effect on the championship because Felix is only going to come home with 20 points and Olivier is going to come home with 13. So that is a 7-point advantage that Felix will have, which means that the gap will be 6 points at the top, with that's at half distance through the season. And only 1 road course left, which will be the end of Olivier's definite advantage. Or certain, near certain advantage on road courses. Oval courses are a much more level playing field. And it will be decided, it should therefore be decided at the Indy 250 on the 6th of June. Be sure to join us for that. Lowy using a bit of push to pass there to try and eke out that gap a little bit more. Only a couple of laps left in this race. Lowy had a little moment there in what was an otherwise faultless race. And in fact, just in front of Lowy, is the battle going on for P10. See back row seats, or front row seats I suppose, for the battle between Fonseca and Gutierrez. Portugal versus Spain for a top 10 finish. Neither of them are going to want to get out of the way of Lowy, and Lowy's probably not going to want to get out of the way, not going to want to interrupt this. He's got enough of a gap. But Lowy is getting a bit impatient, and I don't think Gutierrez knows it's Lowy behind. Or Gutierrez almost spins. Don't take out Lowy. He has! Oh, he has taken out Lowy! Where's Lowy? Okay, Lowy's kept going. Oh my god. Juan, what did you do? What did you almost do? Adam Roshek's had a spin. Where is he? That's on the exit of the toe. Jack Olivier's gone off. I think that was a collision with Adam Roshek, I suspect, because they're both in similar places. In fact, Jake Feimster is just behind this, so Jake Feimster could take home P4 as Lowy starts the final lap of this race. In traffic, I will add. He's losing ground already, so that gap, that's probably over. Lowy's had to deal with lap cars coming into the inner loop. That's why I'm hyping up getting around lap cars, because that's about the limit of this race right now. 7.5 seconds is still the gap. It's not closing down, and is Fonseca going to get out of the way? Yes, he will. Lovely. There we go, it's all sorted. Jake Feimster is still closing up, so we'll keep following him as he's on the final lap. I've sung the praises of Lowy over and over again. He is the marker board for the rest of us, I think, with for all of our pace and our skill in Assetto Corsa. He is the man we all strive to beat. But today, no man could. One man tried to take him out a couple of laps ago, but he did not succeed. No one can defeat the mighty Lowy. He wins in Watkins Glen on his guest appearance. Phoenix will come home in second place and move the gap in the championship to just 6 points, assuming, of course, Feimster can't get past in the last 3 corners. The fact that he nearly spun there means that's pretty much over. So Gerhard takes home P3. Jack Olivier will take home P4. And say this championship battle that we thought was pretty much over, considering Olivier won the first 2 races fairly convincingly. Well, the gap doesn't matter at the end of the race. It's the positions. And Phoenix has taken full advantage. So 6 points is the gap, which means we got a battle on our hands, guys. Olivier takes him P4. Jake Feimster takes him an excellent P5. Full clatter. Matti Lebiak P6. For another good showing in the river racing car. Ericsson 7th. Suriano will come home 8th. Andrade from the back of the grid to P9 is a truly unbelievable race. He's got to be my driver of the day. Fonseca comes home 10th. Then Gutierrez, Trader Joe, Contreras, Mythic and Lucas Weber takes home his first point of the season in 15th. Redacted, Raffaello, Di Noia, Mixtroll, Wilson, Roshek and Nesh all come home outside of the points. Garcia was a DNF and Daniel Wolf will come home 5 laps down from Garcia. And we also had Lukey Smokey DNS because of internet issues. Check fibre. Yes, you should check fibre. Don't mind the orgy at the bottom of the chicane. At the bottom of the hill. That was a fairly good race, I think. Marks out of 10, guys. Marks out of 10 for that race. I would give it a 6, I think. A 6. Lowy does get the points. But I say Phoenix gets the points for second place rather than the points for first place. But as I say, that is it for this week's racing. We've got the Steward stream tomorrow. I believe that's starting at 6 p.m. UTC. That'll be a long one. I doubt there won't be many incidents from AF1, but there will be. But there's 46 from AF3 and AF4, and of course the decider of who wins the AF3 championship, the drivers' championship. Because there are, so as I said yesterday in the AF4 stream, there are some incidents reported that would change the outcome of this championship. Miles versus blank will be decided tomorrow. AF4, there's lots of incidents for that. Be sure to join us for that as well. As for next week, we have no AF3. AF4 is back around 2 at Watkins Glen. We're back here at Watkins Glen for the short layout with no chicane. That should be a fairly standard affair, AF4 wise at least. Then we've got AF1 back at Kota next Sunday, same time as today. And I do have a little announcement. AFM has died. Let's just put it that way. AFM has died. So what we're replacing it with is a new format called the AFM is AF Masters. So I feel like Lipsy's just sort of come out of a coma, or he's been frozen for 30 years. AFM has died how bad? Well, the last race of the season was supposed to be at Baku this morning, and I was the only person checked in for it. So yeah. So yeah, AF Masters has died. Lowy would technically take home the championship from that, but considering I technically would have raced there, that means 25 points for me and 0 for Lowy, which means, does that make me the AFM champion, I wonder? We never got the AFM round 2 results, so I'm going to have to work some stuff out. Lowy took home 42, so he's on 54 points. I got P5, so I'm on 22. So 22 plus 27... 22 plus 27. What's 22 plus 27? I can't work it out. 22 plus 27 is 49. Damn it. Even when Lowy misses a race and I'm the only one there, I still can't beat him in the championship. There we go. I wanted to go to Baku. I really wanted to go to Baku. It was even more dead than the first seasons of AF2 and AF3. But AF Masters will be replaced with a new series called AFX. Now, AFX, the X in AFX stands for experimental, which means we will be experimenting with a new theme to the season every season. It'll be a 6-round season, and the first theme I can announce will be street circuits. We'll be going to 6 street circuits in 7 weeks. There'll be a driver's vote at the end of it, and I can announce the car will be the Mazda MX-5 Cup with a sequential modification that Polly is working on as we speak. Sign-ups for that, and further announcements will be presented in due course. But there we go. You're going to get a whole season of street circuits in a nice, fun little road car. It will be... Oh, it's going to be so much fun. It'll be... how are we doing? I've forgotten what the format will be. What did we say it was going to be? Well, I'll let you know later. We'll let you know later. But there we go. That is AFX. The new format from Assetto Friends. That will be on the Saturday... the early Saturday slot. But that's it for today. Thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Well, I won't be here, but we'll see you tomorrow for the Stewards stream. See you guys.